哇！喂，撇啦喂，大佬，呢個
Hey, hello my YouTube friends, how are you doing? I'm at a lobby inside, so it's required to wear a mask. Hope you can still hear me properly. Today I'm going to talk about the quarantine thing. I can't even say it's it's the COVID-19 in Hong Kong, and now we are still suffering from the fourth wave, and I would really like to tell you what's happening. So in detail, so join me, and hope you enjoy this video. And before we go on, please give me a like, and I appreciate that. Thank you. You are aware that the fourth wave has been here, and still now this is the fourth wave hasn't died down. Everybody's been saying, oh well, let's wait to hopefully we can control the curve, bend the curve down. But somehow the curve has been like leveling now, but it's still getting high. And the sad thing is, it's how people get infected is unknown, and the government is really frustrated. And Hong Kong people are actually doing really well, respecting each other by wearing a mask, which is pretty good. And before I can even do videos and stuff like that in restaurants and stuff like that, but now after 6 o'clock every evening, no one is allowed to come to dine in. Everything must be to go, and by 9:30 I think all restaurants must be closed. So this really discourages people from coming out at night. But now I think there hasn't been too much progress on this COVID thing. So the government is ambushing people. So ambush, it might sound so weird, ambushing people. But what they do now is suddenly, because Hong Kong is unlike North America or other places in the country, Hong Kong is a really, really small place, and all these buildings are so dense together, all really close to each other. So when they what they do, they ambush people now. So you might be going to work or something. If you come a bit later, you don't know what's going on in your little suburban area. And for example, nowadays they will just, like 10, 20 police cars, they block off the roads, medical teams, COVID testing. They will just come and just lock off this area. They will just board up the whole area with portable, the barricades, and no one is allowed to leave and no one is allowed to come in. So they'll do that for at least for 24 hours. And the guys living upstairs, nobody would know what's going on. And the deal is, the guys at home, if they want to go out, they would see your phone, because you have to be COVID tested negative so you can leave your own apartment. So usually when they barricade this little city, there's at least 10,000 people living at that area. So what area? I think they started in Sham Shui Po area, which I did a video on electronics there, and there's a lot of how can I say, other foreign people living there. It's a low-cost housing, and like for example 500 square foot, they would fit like 5 families in there, and it's really packed, and it's for the underprivileged people, but still the rent is really, really high. And there will be like for other people from how can I say, Southeast Asian people, non-Chinese people, but they're still Asian, some Indian, mixed culture, Nepalese, Filipinos and stuff like that, and they usually rent these boarding houses. So they blocked off this area. About 10,000 people were hold off for at least 40 hours. So everybody had to go down to mandatory to get this COVID test. So after this COVID test, you have to wait until it processes. So after they test negative, they can go back upstairs. Still not allowed to go out because it's all barricaded. And the guys who test positive, they'll be sent away to be isolated and quarantined. I don't know about that, guys. So suddenly you never know. Your little suburb might be just fenced off now, and that's a trend. So when Sham Shui Bo, they stopped doing it. They did it in Mongkok, after I think Yau Ma Tei, and then now the latest right now as I'm talking is in North Point. So North Point, they sealed off the area. So I mean, it's really terrifying for the Hong Kong citizens. Of course, you know, for me, it's, I mean, is it good or is it bad? I don't know. I can't say that, but if I'm affected, like suddenly I come downstairs and I'm forced to take a COVID test, and you have to download this phone app, and when they approve, it shows a tick sign. So all the police downstairs have to check you, so you can go out again after this, lockdown. Lockdown is even worse than a curfew. Yeah, it's really bad. So the latest incident now happening right now as I'm speaking is in North Point. So suddenly, North Point, few blocks, they just barricaded the whole city, and everybody has to go for these portable tents they set up for these COVID tests. So which is pretty scary, guys. I don't know it would ever happen in North America, but for Hong Kongers, it's really scary. And the thing is, now they don't even use the swab test, they use the anal test. So they swab up your butt, and that's, a lot of people say it's pretty degrading. It's insulting in a way, I don't know. And because the reason they're doing these anal swabs is because a lot of old buildings that they are crammed into, like 500 square feet, like 3-4 families living there, they share the toilet. And the toilet is an old system that they don't use U-pipes or something like that. And they discover the sewer pipes are just straight pipes that go down. So if somebody has the COVID and they do their business, all this air will travel up in your toilet and infect the whole building. So this is one of the main reasons they do, I think that, they swipe your butt and check for the COVID. So remember I did the first video on the COVID before. I said they were thinking about, before the SARS, like 10 years ago, it happened in this complex building that the sewer pipes weren't good, so they didn't do the U-pipes, so all the virus traveled throughout the whole building. Lots of people died. By the way, if I bought an apartment during that period and you would sell it now, you make like over 20-30 times of the price you got, which is pretty, it's a money-making thing, And one of the reasons I'm staying in North America still now is that as everybody knows, the hotel business has gone down the drain, and used to be quarantined for 14 days at home, which I did before. But nowadays, you have to quarantine in a hotel for 21 days, guys. And every meal has to be prepared by the hotel. So now even a reasonable, like a 3.5, 4-star hotel would probably cost you $5,000 US just to go back to Hong Kong to quarantine. And you have to stay in your own room for 21 days without even leaving that. So which is really, really, I don't know if people, a lot of people are having depression, not knowing what to do, and just getting all confused in life because of this quarantine thing. Even here in the hospital, mental hospitals, I talked to some doctors. They said a lot of people are coming in for help. They need medication because after that long period during quarantine, it has really affected their life, which is terrible. So hopefully, I don't know, now the Chinese New Year is around the corner, but people are not traveling, obviously. Later I'll do a video on Shenzhen because I got a lot of information from my friends from Shenzhen. Spring Festival, everybody travels. 20-30 million people on the move every day, but things has changed. You might not hear so much news about the COVID in mainland China, but believe me, guys, I was one of the first guys that reported on my video that the COVID was really serious. But in China, like nothing was announced. So, yeah, I love China. It's a great place, but sometimes I just have to be, trust what's going on. Have have a good instinct, and that would really save a lot of trouble or getting infected. So anyways, I hope I won't be, when I ever eventually go back to Hong Kong, I won't be ambushed. I won't be locked in my apartment for like 48 hours. I won't see like hundreds of police downstairs, whole quarantine team, vaccination, or, people swabbing your butt. Yeah. So that's really horrible. It's like those movies, you saw before, those viruses, it's the same thing that's happening right now in Hong Kong. I mean, what can I say, guys? Is it a good thing or a bad thing? I know it won't happen in the States, but a lot of things, for Hong Kongers now, we're citizens there. They live there. There's not much choice. When they blockade the building, you can just go down and scream or anything like that. Basically, everybody has to go along with the government planning. So anyways, thank you very much for watching my video. I'm a little bit slow on videos, so please forgive me. I have a lot of problems, a lot of things I have to sort out. I'm going to do a video on my Patreon explaining what is actually happening to my life, which it's not too good, guys. So I'm just give me 3-4 days. I'll post it on my Patreon, and I'll explain everything. So do drop me a like, and I really appreciate that. Share a video, and thank you for watching again. I love you guys. Bye bye, and thank you my Patreons.
哇！喂，撇啦喂，大佬，呢個我哋走啊！喂，我哋走啊！佢風打橫啊一陣。我哋走啊！佢會問我哋走唔走嘅。放一條喺條柱度。觀眾歡迎收睇蘋果 Live。咁呢個位置咧係北角嘅東發大廈 ABC 座位置啦。咁大家現場畫面可見到有好多嘅警員啦，啱啱大概2分鐘之前咧，咁就喺出邊大街方向咧就衝入嚟，咁並且係用啲膠帶咧係圍住咗東發大廈嘅 ABC、B 座嘅範圍㗎。咁其實較早前啦，由6點幾開始啦，其實已經有傳出呢度會有恐懼嘅情況啦。依家規模咧就應該會似係上次逼街嘅夜晚所謂突襲式嘅一個空區嘅行動咁樣。咁就陸續咧頭先係有大概6部車啦係嚟到現場，並且咧係有啲嘅資落咗嚟啦，咁就印有 Fanatics 即係個檢測公司嘅字樣咁樣啦。咁第一畫面所見咧，相信係一單嘅自己嘅事啦，咁自己係咁樣。咁其餘幾座咧都需要係強制檢測㗎。咁政府咧都喺附近嘅新都城大廈嘅街口位啦，咁就有設立咗一個檢測站嘅，咁就係俾4座嘅居民啦係去做翻強制檢測。小姐咩事啊？影咗邊多啲？知啊，同事嚟㗎。知啊。點要點過去啊？我哋行政處嘅。啱啱講先，係麻煩。嗱，你哋冇證件咧，我唔知你邊個。 相信係檢測公司嘅啲人員啦，收到就比較想用嗰樣檢測先嘅翻去正常。咁啊，隨即有警員就即係要求佢唔好入嚟啦，叫個小朋友唔好咁嘅時間。咁所以區入邊嘅出咗嚟嘅職員咧就咁啊，其實係一條公司嚟嘅，你要一個簡單證件用佢哋。我認到，信佢嘅點解？有證嘅，如果係咁啊，見到離遠咧有一班嘅員咧，其實係處理嘅市場組織啦，可能大廈嘅組織啦。咁啊，上邊咧係要上搬翻落跟居民去進行檢測嘅。咁情況比較類似嘅。